Not all wounds in the royal family are visible. Some are silent, deep, and permanent. Princess Anne, known for her duty, her strength, and her stoic loyalty to the crown, has reportedly done something no one saw coming. She's turned her back on her own nephew, Prince Harry. Not in anger, not with rage, but with cold, calculated silence. And according to insiders, she has no plans to ever forgive him. But why? What happened behind palace walls that pushed the Queen's only daughter to shut the door forever? In this video, we uncover the final straw that broke Anne's trust in Harry, why she believes his betrayal went too far to mend, and the moment she quietly pulled away, never looking back. You're about to witness the royal fallout no one dared talk about. Until now, Princess Anne has always been the monarchy's most underrated force. While tabloids chased scandal and headlines clung to glamour, and built her reputation on something rarer, duty without drama. She's the hardest-working royal, often clocking in more engagements than any other senior royal year after year. But she never boasted, never asked for praise, because for Anne, the crown was sacred, a legacy meant to be served, not exploited. And that's exactly why Harry's actions cut so deeply. When he stepped away and didn't publicly condemn him, she didn't join the press frenzy. She didn't even speak his name. But inside the palace, her silence said everything. And doesn't forgive lightly, a former palace aide once whispered. When you cross her, especially when it comes to the crown, she never forgets. What Harry saw as freedom and saw as betrayal. A betrayal that could fracture everything their mother, Queen Elizabeth II, held dear. It didn't happen in front of cameras. There was no confrontation, no explosive shouting match. The moment Princess Anne turned away from Prince Harry happened in true royal fashion. Quietly, permanently, and without a trace of emotion. According to insiders, it was shortly after Harry's explosive interview with Oprah, when the dust had barely settled, and the world was still reeling from the accusations of racism, neglect, and coldness within the royal ranks. Princess Anne made a decision. She didn't speak publicly. She didn't ask for a meeting. She simply withdrew, behind closed doors, and reportedly refused to be part of any family discussions about reconciliation. When King Charles suggested extending a branch to his son, and said no, he chose his path, she allegedly told a close aide. Let him walk it, alone. That was the moment when the Queen's most loyal child made it clear, some betrayals can't be undone. To understand why Princess Anne's silence is so final, you have to understand what she values more than anything. Loyalty, discipline, family, and above all, duty to the crown, and was raised in the shadow of a monarch who placed country before self. She watched Queen Elizabeth endure heartbreak, scandal, and endless criticism, but never once falter in her role. For Anne, the monarchy isn't just tradition. It's sacred. It's service. It's identity. So when Harry publicly accused the royal family of racism, when he and Meghan painted the monarchy as cold and cruel to a global audience, and didn't see a cry for help, she saw a public execution of the institution their mother devoted her life to protect. And that's the line. The one you don't cross. Not in Anne's world. He shamed us, one palace aide recalled her saying behind closed doors. And he expects us to welcome him back? For Anne, it wasn't about disagreements. It wasn't about personal offense. It was about protecting the monarchy's soul. And that's something she believes Harry tried to burn. For many, Queen Elizabeth was a symbol. But to Princess Anne, she was a mother, a mentor, a mission. Unlike Charles, who often wrestled with the weight of the crown, and unlike Harry, who ran from it and embraced it without hesitation, she didn't crave the spotlight. She didn't rebel. She simply served. And in doing so, she became the Queen's most trusted defender. Palace insiders say Anne was the one who stood closest to the Queen in her final years. Not just physically, but ideologically. She guarded her mother's values with quiet strength, and made a silent vow to honor her legacy at all costs. So when Harry launched a very public war against the institution the Queen cherished, and saw it not just as betrayal of the crown, but as betrayal of their mother's memory. One served the queen until her last breath. The other walked away and spoke out while she was still alive. And that contrast in Anne's heart is unforgivable. In early discussions about a possible royal reconciliation, senior aides reportedly tried to organize a private family meeting. King Charles was willing. Prince William was cautious but open. But Princess Anne made one thing clear: if he's in the room, I won't be. Sources say this stunned even the most seasoned staff. And, known for her sense of duty and calm, had drawn a hard line. Not out of emotion, but out of principle. According to insiders, she didn't want an apology. She didn't want explanations. She wanted distance. She believes Harry chose this path, a former courtier revealed. And now he must live with the consequences. Outside the family and outside her world. Anne's refusal to even be present in the same space as Harry says more than any public statement ever could. In the royal family, a cold shoulder can freeze more than 1,000 words. And Princess Anne's silence is deafening. The royal family has weathered countless storms. Divorces, scandals, even abdications. But this rift between Harry and Princess Anne is different. It isn't public. It isn't tabloid-driven. It's private and permanent. And that makes it dangerous. Princess Anne holds more influence behind palace walls than the public realizes. She may not be king or queen, but she's respected beyond rank. Her word carries weight in decisions about who is trusted, who is welcomed, and who is not. As Charles navigates a fragile reign, and William prepares for his future as king, and has become the compass, quietly guiding the family's moral stance. And when that compass points away from Harry, others follow. Her silence shapes the palace's decisions, says a royal insider. If and won't budge, neither will the core of the monarchy. Some hope time would heal this family, that bridges would be rebuilt. But as long as Anne stands unmoved, the message is clear. There is no way back, not yet, and maybe not ever. For a man who once stood at the heart of the royal family, Prince Harry now watches from the outside, through headlines, distant glances, and closed doors. When reports first surfaced that Princess Anne had refused to be in the same room with him, Harry didn't respond publicly. There was no tweet, no statement, no Oprah follow-up, but those close to him say it hit harder than he let on. He expected resistance from Charles. Even William, said a longtime friend. But Anne? That silence from her. It stung. It made everything real. Harry had admired her once. He used to joke about her bluntness, her relentless work ethic, her sharp tongue. But now that same steeliness is pointed straight at him. And in many ways, it may be the rejection that hurts the most. Behind the cameras, Harry is said to have tried reaching out. Quietly, respectfully, hoping time would thaw the ice. But there's been no response. Not even a whisper from Anne's side. For Harry, silence from the monarchy is nothing new. But silence from Princess Anne? That's the sound of finality. The royal family has always played the long game. Time, tradition, and public amnesia often help mend what pride once broke. But this time feels different. This rift between Princess Anne and Prince Harry isn't just personal. It's symbolic. It represents two worlds moving in opposite directions. One built on legacy, silence, and sacrifice. The other choosing voice, freedom, and confrontation. And standing between them is a wound no one is trying to heal. Even if King Charles were to push for unity, even if William someday opened the door, and may never follow, she doesn't do fake, said one royal insider. If she believes you've betrayed the family, there's no staged smile, no forced handshake, just distance. For reconciliation to happen, someone must take the first step. But so far, all steps have led away. And as time passes, so does hope. Can this ever be healed? Maybe, but not until the silence is broken, and Princess Anne speaks. In the grand halls of Buckingham Palace, time moves slowly. Forgiveness, when it comes, is quiet, measured, rare. But this rift between Princess Anne and Prince Harry may never find that kind of peace. And in many ways, it reveals something deeper about the monarchy itself. This isn't just about a family feud. It's about what the monarchy is willing to protect and who they're willing to let go. Princess and Silence is not just personal. It's political, a clear signal that even in a modern age, some values are non-negotiable. Loyalty, legacy, respect for the crown. Harry, with all his heartbreak and rebellion, represents change. And with all her poise and restraint, represents endurance. And for now, endurance has chosen not to look back. In the end, maybe this is the most royal outcome of all. No statement, just silence. And in that silence, a message louder than any words. Princess Anne refuses to forgive, and the monarchy moves on. Will Princess Anne ever speak to Prince Harry again? Let us know what you think in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more untold royal stories.